everyone, welcome back. We see a huge news on bioaffinity, and that led to a surge of 10% and then dropping it to it surged for 20% and then it dropped to 10%, which is still great. So this stock has been very volatile, and ideally this should be a stock that you should trade very often. Anything below 5 is good price to trade on. Anything below 2.5 and 3, I would love to make another entry. So let's look at what is the news. All right, so we have been covering bioaffinity very extensively in our channel, and we know that the kind of technology they have, the CyPath Lung diagnostic, that's the only non-invasive lung cancer diagnostic machine that has an accuracy of over 90%. So the preliminary unaudited data came in and achieved 146% growth compared to the first quarter of 2025, reflecting accelerating physician adoption and expanding clinical use of the company non-invasive lung cancer diagnostic test. The stronger than expected unit growth in the first quarter of 2026, reflecting growing recognition of the value that CyPath Lung brings to the clinical decision making and patient outcome, said Maria Zenas, the CEO. Physicians are seeking more accurate, non-invasive tool to assess lung cancer risk and detect disease at the earliest and most treatable stage. So lung cancer, as we discussed in our previous videos, lung cancer goes undiagnosed for stage 1 or even stage 2. Sometimes people get caught at stage 3 and 4. So CyPath Lung is designed to address the critical gap in the diagnostic pathway by supporting lung cancer risk assessment and pulmonary nodule management, post-treatment surveillance. Our growing body of evidence, including real-world case studies, further supports. So this news is pretty significant, but they did not report like what is the unit number for that. They just said like, hey, we have accelerating growth rate compared to the first quarter. So now let's look at some of the guess estimate I have pulled together for it. Let's see. Okay. So based on the number of the reported revenue for 2025, they reported 6.2 million, and we assume that on an average $800 per test, then roughly will sold 7,750 units in 2025. So if you compare this, that means if you do a guess estimate on this one, let's divide this 7750 by 4 because it's 4 quarters. You will get roughly 2,000 units. And typically the acceleration which we see is that if you have 1 in first quarter and then it goes to 1.1 and goes to 1.3, the acceleration happens in this manner. So ideally what we are seeing here, your number should be. So on a conservative side, if you look at the acceleration of this, then what we are considering is that they are able to sell whatever in the unit. If they sell 1 unit in or 10 unit in Q1 of 2025, they are able to sell 15 unit in Q4, which is very conservative. My assumption is that it must have hit 2 here, and if you do 1.6 here. So even if I go and consider that the most of the Q1 revenue come in a big large number. So let's assume that the Q1 2025 was only 1,000 unit. So I picked very conservative number, and I picked 1,100 as the conservative number. And even on that, if you look at this number, then on a 146% year-over-year growth, we'll end up with 2,700 units in 2026. So what it means that the Q1 revenue would be around $2 million. And if you do 4 times of this, they will definitely hit almost $9 million in 2026. This is very conservative. So my assumption is that they will definitely hit 2.5 million here, and they may project full year 10 million. So growing from 6 million to a $10 million company is huge. And this year, the focus is to commercialize it. As we discussed in our previous video, they already have a lot of commercial representatives hired, and they are on the field to have this commercialized at a full scale. So based on just this news, we can anticipate they will be hitting $10 million revenue in 2026. With a market cap of 18 to 19 million, this is definitely going for 50 million market cap easily this year. So how I'm looking to position myself for bioaffinity is that I will wait and make another lot of buy, probably at 3.7, 3.5. The company is able to transform itself from, this was the concept to product to commercialization now. So great. So the strategy is that you sell when it goes above $5 to $6, but buy when it goes below $4. All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.